What is up, everybody? Eric here from Soundcast Studios. Today, taking a look at Analog Obsession's new channel strip plugin, the CHANNEV. I don't actually know how to say it. I don't know if it's CHANNEV, it's CHANNEV. I'm not entirely sure. I'm just going to call it the CHANNEV for now. This plugin has a ton of features. It has a preamp section, de-esser, EQ, compressor, limiter, and tape saturation. It's a lot of things packed into a single channel strip plugin, which I think is really cool. Full disclosure, I am in no way affiliated with Analog Obsession. I just think they make really cool plugins, and I like to showcase that. In order to try and get a feel for the plugin, I thought it would be best to actually mix a song with it. Here I pulled up an old live session I did a couple years ago. It's like 8 tracks, nothing too fancy. And so I thought it would be cool to only use this plugin to mix that session. So here I have the unprocessed version of that. I rendered it back into itself, and then all the processing I did when I rendered it through the submix. So first I'm going to play the track without any processing. Then I'm going to switch to the processed version.
Maybe after you could come over to, we'll watch a movie. Yeah, maybe Boris Gump. I'll be your bubba baby. Oh, don't say maybe, no. Don't keep me waiting, 'cause I might be the one to. Maybe after you could come over to, we'll watch a movie. Yeah, maybe Boris Gump. I'll be your bubba baby. Oh, don't say maybe, no. Don't keep me waiting, 'cause I might be the one to.
Overall, I like this plugin, and I think it's quite usable for what it is. Compared to the other channel strip plugins that I've used by Analog Obsession, mostly the Brit channel and the Loaded plugin, I found this one to be significantly more usable than the other two. This mostly comes down to the EQ section. The fact that both the mids have a high Q option is very nice, and also the EQ is fully adjustable to whatever frequency you want, unlike the Brit channel, which has predetermined frequencies that you can use. And so I get that the Brit channel is trying to be more analog, but I like this way more, and I find this to be significantly more usable in an actual mix. I also liked that the compressor and limiter modules have separate dry and wet knobs. And so if I remember correctly, I think the Brit channel has a dry and wet knob, but it's for the compressor and limiter collectively to blend that in. And I might be wrong on that, but I do remember that being something I didn't like. The fact that they split them up makes these two compressors a little more usable in my eyes. And the addition of the tape saturation is a nice touch. One complaint I do have with this plugin is, funny enough, in the EQ section. The EQ works perfectly, it's all fine. The only complaint I have is in the visual representation of it. So I don't like that it goes highs, high mids, lows. That was a little confusing to me. I prefer it being left to right, lows, low mids, highs. So that's a little bit of a nitpick. I also was a little confused with this section right here. So right here, as you can see, it says 10.8 hertz, which had me confused. That's incredibly low. But then what I later realized was that it means 10.8 kilohertz. So on the actual plugin, you can see right on top of it says kilohertz. But over the readout, it's just missing that K. That confused me for a second. But once you realize that that's there, it's not an issue. It works fine. You are boosting the highs. It is correct. So the fact that my only actual gripe with this plugin is in the interface says a lot about this plugin. I think that it's functioning properly. I think that it's achieving what it's set out to do, to be a channel strip plugin that you can use on a bunch of different sources. You can get quick mixes with this if you really need to. I personally wouldn't use this entirely on a mix all by itself. I find it too limiting to do that. The compressor has no adjustable attack times, which is really limiting for certain applications. And then the high Q doesn't get that surgical. So I think the best situation would be to have all your surgical EQ before this, and then you could probably get a pretty good mix after using this. You could probably get 80% there. I think it's very usable though, and I think it could be useful in a lot of people's toolkit. So that is going to be the end of this video. In the comment section below, let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, and what you thought I could have done better. And I'll see you all in the next video.